Those are the ones who must take responsibility for anything that happens on the 30th. Don't point the finger on us. We've done our due diligence. We've put our head on the block here. And everyone in the world is looking at us, calling us hateful things, swearing at us, and the government is acting as if this issue of illegal immigration is our problem. It's not our problem that there's illegal immigrants in the country. We didn't invite anyone. We certainly didn't want to feel unsafe in our own country. We certainly never envisioned there'd be a time where in our hospitals we don't have spaces, and children in schools don't have spaces. So if there's anyone that must shoulder any blame for the 30th, it's the government.
For the love of the country. For the love, just for the love of the country, my friend. Sakusile, Richards Bay. Yabo siyajuluka thina. Lokusivuka ngo-3. Silale ngo 12:30. Ngo-3 sesivukile siyaplana. Siplana ukuthi izwe singavikela kanjani. Siplana ukuthi izwe singalenza kanjani libe lihle. Siplana ukuthi singalekelela kanjani uhulumeni wethu. Ukuthi ubone ukuthi abantu base-South Africa bakhathele kangakanani nanokuthi kulungile phela konke lokhu kade kwenzeka bekwenzeka ngoba abantu benganakile benikeza abaholi ithuba.
Have ANC leaders just received their strongest warning yet ahead of the June 30th demonstrations? With just days to go before June 30th, tensions are reaching a boiling point in South Africa. Activist Jacinta Zuma and Fakulumtha Kathiningizwe Mchunu have delivered a strong message to the ANC government and President Cyril Ramaphosa. According to their public statements, they say South Africans are frustrated by illegal immigration, unemployment, crime, and what they see as the government's failure to put citizens first. They insist that the June 30th action is intended to send a clear message that many people believe their concerns have been ignored for too long. The pair warned that the government should not dismiss the growing public anger. They argued that leaders need to listen to ordinary South Africans instead of labeling every protest as unlawful or politically motivated. At the same time, the government has taken a different position. Officials have warned that while peaceful protest is protected by the Constitution, blocking roads, disrupting public services, or taking the law into one's own hands will not be tolerated. Authorities say anyone who breaks the law during the demonstrations could face legal consequences. As June 30th approaches, all eyes will be on what happens across the country. Will the demonstrations remain peaceful? Will the government respond to the protesters' demands? Or will the standoff between activists and the ANC become even more intense?
Israel. Guys, I don't even know anyone from Israel. The only time I ever heard about Israel was in the Bible. And now I'm hearing that I'm funded by Israel. You know, the amount of time people spend on conspiracy theories really worries me. So you guys telling me that black people cannot stand up for anything unless there's money involved? Are we not smart enough? Are we not entitled enough? Our brains not function unless there's money involved? I find this so very offensive, because if this movement had a lot of white faces here, everybody would be like, oh, let's hear what you have to say. Oh my gosh, why do we have the issue of illegal immigrants? It's such a fundamental right for people to be protected in their country. But because it's black people, we find the most offensive things to say to us. It's disgusting that the media keeps pushing this agenda of us as black people not being able to stand up for ourselves in our communities because we're black. And everything we must do must have money involved. Yes, we know there are people who have bad motives and bad intentions for doing something. But have you ever seen us going to Israel and getting money? Why would you run a story that you don't have proof of? Have you ever asked us for our bank statements and we said no? If you've ever asked us for bank statements and we said no, rightfully write that and say you have issues of who's giving us money. We have bank statements, guys, where people donate. If you want to see them today, I can give them to you. Immigration in the first place. Those are the ones who must take responsibility for anything that happens on the 30th. Don't point the finger on us. We've done our due diligence. We've put our head on the block here. And everyone in the world is looking at us, calling us hateful things, swearing at us, and the government is acting as if this issue of illegal immigration is our problem. It's not our problem that there's illegal immigrants in the country. We didn't invite anyone. We certainly didn't want to feel unsafe in our own country. We certainly never envisioned there'd be a time where in our hospitals we don't have spaces, and children in schools don't have spaces. So if there's anyone that must shoulder any blame for the 30th, it's the government. But on our part, we are saying, for what we can take and what we can do to ensure that no violence ensures, we'll do that. But we can't go over and above. We don't have 6 million, 100 million rand here. Maybe if you gave us 600 million rand, you'll see the difference. So maybe give us that 600 million and we'll show you how to take care of a country. It's so strange that it can be illegal to tell people who are illegally in the country to leave the country because they're in the country legally. What is illegal about that? Because it's just a date and an encouragement for them to go home. If anything, they should be taking it to heart because, I mean, it's giving you an opportunity to prepare yourself. This date wasn't announced yesterday, now that everyone's starting to panic now. I think he announced it in April, if I'm not mistaken, where he announced the date. And South Africans, like I said, are the ones that started echoing the date. Because as much, the date was not announced by us or any of these civic movements that you see here today. But if South Africans are the ones saying that on the 30th of June, we want to echo the call that illegal immigrants must have left the country, there's nothing wrong with that. And we're standing here to say exactly that the 30th of June was not announced by any of us, but because we are with the communities, we are the ones that know what the communities are saying to us. We are the ones that have seen the impact of what goes on because of illegal immigration. Therefore, if the 30th of June is putting enough pressure on governments and illegal immigrants themselves to go home, what could possibly be wrong with that? I'm sorry, I don't get the illegal part of it. Maybe we can get a further elaboration of our event, the 30th of June. I think I've mentioned this in our previous press briefing. I'm going to reiterate what I said. The 30th of June is a deadline that was announced by Padelu Tagat. When he announced it, the South Africans stood up in numbers in support. So it's no longer a Padelu Tagat date, it's a South African date. Because South Africans in numbers responded to that date by saying that they also effectively would love to see the country taking shape. And the 30th of June was a deadline given to the illegal immigrants to self-deport. One of the reasons I know for that is because our government consistently complains about deporting people being very expensive. So it was meant as a way to encourage people who know they're in the country legally to
of March and March is also one of the organizations, but across that particular area of KwaZulu-Natal and coming into this area of Eastern Cape, there has sort of been the emergence then of various other community-based organizations such as Nomeva in Butterworth. You also have your Pakama EC that is based in Mthatha, and also this one right now that I'm going to be talking to, which is Patriotic South Africans. They are at the forefront then of driving, at least insofar as the grassroots are concerned, those people that are going to partake in those various anti-illegal immigration marches, of course, starting at grassroots level. Let's speak to him right now. Thank you very much for your time, sir. Tell us, can you kindly tell us what is at the core of this march that you're going to be partaking in?
Thank you very much. This march is part of the national program of sending message to the government, including the foreign nationals, that as South Africans, we have got a big problem with the issue of foreign nationals, in particular the illegal foreigners. But beyond illegal foreigners, we also have got an issue with foreigners that are taking our businesses, that are promoting crime in our country, that are selling drugs to our communities. As patriotic South Africans, we have been requested by the people of Aidujwa, Toga and Mbashi. They want us to assist to send a clear message to the municipality, Department of Labor, Department of Home Affairs, and tell them that they are well aware that around Aidujwa, there are too many illegal foreigners. Around in Aidujwa, there are so many businesses that are employing illegal foreigners. Around Aidujwa, there are criminals that are taking money from foreigners. They call it protection fee. So they don't want anyone to charge the foreigners. So we're here to tell them, including the government, that we are not going to accept illegal foreigners in our country. We're not going to allow the people to take money from foreign nationals and protect them and say that they must not go.
I'm not sure if you would have seen the various, communication that has come from national government insofar as the intervention that they're providing in respect of your demands. Is that not satisfactory?
It's far from being satisfactory. The government is not proactive in the approach. They are very responsive and they are very passive. For instance, only a few days back, we were told that there were foreigners that were caught, others coming to the country. We are pushing them out, they are coming in them. It means the government is not doing enough. So we've taken the position as all organizations that are anti-illegal foreigners, that will keep on putting the pressure on government and will, until the government acts decisively on matter of foreign nationals.
And ultimately on the 30th of June, what's the plan insofar as these towns are concerned?
One, around Aidutjwa, would be making the announcement today during the march. We're going back to Mchunu after this march. We are planning another program on the 30th in one of our towns called Ngamakwe. Would be there on the 30th. Because in Badawi we had a march, but we felt that we must take the march to Ngamakwe, even though after the 30th we're going to continue in Badawi again with our marches until we march until the government submits to our demands.
All right. Thank you very much for your time. I want to appreciate you.
Pleasure.
You can go back there. Well, there you have it, Michelle. That is just one of the organizations then. Of course, if you did hear him speaking about the town of Ngamakwe, going back to the issue that I was talking about as it pertains to the emergence of these community-based organizations that are also infiltrating some of your small towns so as to ensure that they have that widespread footprint, of course, ahead of the 30th of June. Still remaining resolute insofar as their demands are concerned. Right now, they've sort of gathered here just outside the shopping center. By the way, this stretch of road, Michelle, is the N2 National Road. In previous times, around the Aidutjwa town, Butterworth town, you would see various reporting insofar as it being blocked due to various protests that would occur, and hence then you see the heavy police presence. I think just on the back of my mind, talking about police, that issue of the 600 million rand that has been allocated just to ensure that even those police officers that would otherwise be on leave are asked to return back. It speaks to just the amount of the heavy police presence that we are already starting to see then in this particular march, as it is the 26th of June, of course, alongside your local law enforcement.
All right, we continue to track that story, and we'll be doing so for the next few days, in fact, as we build up to the 30th of June. Liam Vumisa is there for us.
For the love of the country. For the love, just for the love of the country, my friend. Sakusile, Richards Bay. Yabo siyajuluka thina. Lokhu sivuke ngo-3. Silale ngo-12:30. Ngo-3 sesivukile siyaplana. Siplana ukuthi izwe singalivikela kanjani. Siplana ukuthi izwe singalenza kanjani libe lihle. Siplana ukuthi singalekelela kanjani uhulumeni wethu. Ukuthi ubone ukuthi abantu base-South Africa bakhathele kangakanani, nanokuthi kulungile phela konke lokhu kade kwenzeka bekwenzeka ngoba abantu benganakile benikeza abaholi ithuba. Njengamanje ke sesisela akuzukholwa akulalwe nje abantu mabona amehle njena nje akulalwe ngeke kulala abahamba abantu abahambe bebuyele kwela kubo thina sisale siyilungisa singabantu ama-Somalia, ama-Ethiopia, ama-Bangladesh, we know they're in Sentin, we know they're in Palito, we know in the most of estate, we know in Hillbrow, we know in our communities. This is not going to stop. We are not going to stop until you guys go back to your countries and fix your papers, and then you can come back to South Africa. So we don't care about social media, we don't care about the newspapers, we don't care about the news outlet that are labeling us. We don't care about you who are paying attention to what we are doing instead of keeping quiet if you don't agree and then you start insulting us. Mina, I'm too strong. I'm too strong. You can insult me, I don't care. I don't compete with anyone. Even those that think they are competing with me, they are competing with themselves. I don't compete. I only win. And I don't start anything that is not going to see its end in a beautiful way. So this country is going to get better. And after this, after the 30th, we are going to factories, we are going to farms, we are going to, your business is going to get hurt. Whoever is illegal immigrants in the country and illegal foreigners, your business is going to get hurt very bad, because it's not helping South Africa anyway. Lapha Richards Bay sicela nisilindele ngabo 7:30. Silindele insizwa ihlangane lapho ngaserenki, erenki yamabhasi nerenki yamatekisi lapho kunobhuqu khona. So hlanganela khona. It's our country. No amount of insults will slow us down. No amount of propaganda is going to slow us down. No amount of scare tactics from the government is going to slow us down. We are going to win. You, all of you illegal foreigners, all of you thugs who left your countries and came to South Africa, and now you are insulting South Africans. You are stupid, you are a failure, you are nothing. You are supposed to be in your country, fixing your country, doing what I'm doing in your country. But you are here in South Africa on social media, insulting South Africans. You are not making any difference. The reason why your country is like that is because of the same attitude where you leave your country, you come to South Africa to swear and insult South Africans. That's why your country is like that. South Africans siyabonga, nina bakithi siyabonga, nina benkosi siyabonga. Qhubekani ningabanaki ningabaphenduli. Laba bathuka inhlamba nje Facebook ningabaphenduli. Ngoba the reason why their countries are like that, it's because they pay attention to stupid things. They pay attention to things that are not relevant. We as South Africans, we stood up for our country. We stood together with amaXhosa, amaPedi, amaVenda, beSotho, amaGhaghabe, amaMpondo, nawo wonke umuntu. We stood up and said, enough is enough, we need to fix our country. So let them swear as much as they can. But that's the only thing they know. Why their countries, if they are smart, why their countries are like that. South Africa is going to, no politician is going to save you. Go back to your country. Hambani, hambani. Siye penje ngamanje. Thank you. Papa yeni siyabonga.
It's a South African date. Because South Africans in numbers responded to that date by saying that they also effectively would love to see the country taking shape. And the 30th of June was a deadline given to the illegal immigrants to self-deport. One of the reasons I know for that was because our government consistently complains about deporting people being very expensive. So it was meant as a way to encourage people who know they're in the country legally to self-deport. I'm going to go back to the question of whether we know that it's illegal to announce a date. I'm finding it so strange that it can be illegal to tell people who are illegally in the country to leave the country because they're in the country legally. What is illegal about that? Because it's just a date and an encouragement for them to go home. If anything, they should be taking it to heart, because I mean, it's giving you an opportunity to prepare yourself. This date wasn't announced yesterday, now that everyone's starting to panic now. I think he announced it in April, if I'm not mistaken, where he announced the date. And South Africans, like I said, are the ones that started echoing the date. Because as much, the date was not announced by us or any of these civic movements that you see here today. But if South Africans are the ones saying that on the 30th of June, we want to echo the call that illegal immigrants must have left the country, there's nothing wrong with that. And we're standing here to say exactly that the 30th of June was not announced by any of us. but because we are with the communities. We are the ones that know what the communities are saying to us. We are the ones that have seen the impact of what goes on because of illegal immigration. Therefore, if the 30th of June is putting enough pressure on governments and illegal immigrants themselves to go home, what could possibly be wrong with that? I'm sorry, I don't get the illegal part of it. Maybe we can get a further elaboration on what would be illegal about telling an illegal person to leave the country legally while they're still in the country legally. Have we made applications? There have been a number of organizations amongst us that have made applications in various areas, and those will be announced because we don't want to cause panic now where everyone is trying to do 50 things at different times. So definitely, as we always march and we always make applications, we always know our Section 4 meetings, every single one of these organizations have done that. We know what the process requires.
One thing is certain, South Africa is entering another crucial moment, and the events of June 30th could shape the national conversation on immigration, governance, and public frustration for weeks to come. What do you think? Should the government engage more directly with the protesters, or should it focus on enforcing the law? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this update, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more South African news.
And how many people are we expecting? We don't know. That's the honest truth. We honestly don't know. All we know is that South Africans in their majority have expressed that they are no longer comfortable living with people that they don't know, who are in the country legally, who are taking over their spaces, and even places in South Africa where we don't feel comfortable going. Our Sunnyside, the Hill Roads, the Point Roads, all of these places. And this is a call to say that we want all of these things to come to an end. We miss the days where South Africa was, South Africa, where you would walk on the streets and there's not 50,000 people selling and you fall off the streets and nobody in government sees that as a problem or a reason to enforce their laws. But tell them about March and March, suddenly everyone remembers the law. And then, are we working together? Yes, I think that's why we're here today, to say that we are working together. And it's not a working together because of the 30th. I must emphasize this. These organizations, I think majority of them have been in existence even before March and March. But for some odd reason, it's like this is a March and March thing because I don't know why it's a March and March thing. I honestly don't know. But all of these organizations have been at the forefront of calling out governments for the issue of illegal immigration. And not yesterday, mind you. For years, we've been asking for the same thing from government over and over and over and over and over again. Maybe now, because there's a whole hype around March and March, now people are starting. I think maybe the difference is that these organizations have been working behind the scenes. Maybe for the first time when March and March said, get off your phones and be seen on the streets, is the reason why people started taking this issue seriously. Because all along, we've been saying the same thing and government has been ignoring us. And I think for the first time, government can actually see that there's real people behind cell phones, because we have been complaining about this for years. And you're asking, what happens if things go wrong? And I'm listening to the language all this time. Everyone, are you going to take responsibility? Are you going to take responsibility? Can I ask, whose responsibility is it to protect the country? Is it us? It's definitely not our responsibility. You can't place that on us. If the government is going to be spending 600 million, then they must work for it. They must show us that they can be able to protect the country. We can't be crying every day over our borders being porous and then failing to protect us as the citizens. And when we decide we want to stand up against them, suddenly everyone has a voice about how we must take responsibility. Who takes responsibility for all those children who are out on the streets smoking drugs? Who takes responsibility for all those things coming in our borders? Who takes responsibility for all the human trafficking that's happening in this country? If anyone wants to point a finger at someone who must take responsibility, start with those who allowed illegal immigration in the first place. Those are the ones who are going to take responsibility for anything that happens on the 30th. Don't point the finger on us. We've done our due diligence. We've put our head on the block here. And everyone in the world is looking at us, calling us hateful things, swearing at us, and the government is acting as if this issue of illegal immigration is our problem. It's not our problem that there's illegal immigrants in the country. We didn't invite anyone. We certainly didn't want to feel unsafe in our own country. We certainly never envisioned there'd be a time where in our hospitals we don't have spaces, and children in schools don't have spaces. So if there's anyone that must shoulder any blame for the 30th, it's the government. But on our part, we are saying, for what we can take and what we can do to ensure that no violence ensures, we'll do that. But we can't go over and above. We don't have 600 million right here. Maybe if you give us 600 million right, you'll see the difference. So maybe give us that 600 million, we'll show you how to take care of the country. Where are you getting your money from? Israel. Guys, I don't even know anyone from Israel. The only time I ever heard about Israel was in the Bible. And now I'm hearing that I'm funded by Israel. You know, the amount of time people spend on conspiracy theories really worries me. So you guys telling me that black people cannot stand up for anything unless there's money involved? Are we not smart enough? Are we not entitled enough? Do our brains not function unless there's money involved? I find it so very offensive. Because if this movement had a lot of white faces here, everyone would be like, oh, let's hear what you're saying. Oh my gosh, why do we have the issue of illegal immigrants? It's such a fundamental right for people to be protected in their country. But because it's black people, we find the most offensive things to say to us. It's disgusting that the media keeps pushing this agenda of us as black people not being able to stand up for ourselves in our communities because we're black. And everything we must do must have money involved. Yes, we know there are people who have bad motives and bad intentions for doing something. But have you ever seen us going to Israel and getting money? Why would you run a story that you don't have proof of? Have you ever asked us for our bank statements and we said no? If you've ever asked us for bank statements and we said no, rightfully write that and say you have issues of who's giving us money. We have bank statements, guys, where people donate. If you want to see them today, I can give them to you. Yes. Don't keep making us airheads in our heads. Because now these people, you don't even understand how very detrimental to our lives this thing of aligning us with certain people is. Because you say we are aligned with Israel. What do you think the Palestinians see us as? Why do we care if Palestinians and Israelites are in South Africa? Because that's the exact problem that we're talking about. What kind of African country has people from other religions fighting religious wars in that country? We are an African country. Why must our African beliefs and values be pushed aside so that we can get ourselves involved in things that have nothing to do with us? Whether you're Muslim or whether you're Jew, it doesn't matter to us. We just want you to be in the country legally. Finish. And asking us where we get our money from, if you're not going to contribute to send to us, it's not helping us. Give us 600 million as well. Then ask us what we're doing with the money. Because we're not a government entity here. We don't use taxpayers' money for our existence. Everything that we have to do here requires us to put in our own money. And if South Africans are donating to us, why is it a problem? Because we can't do anything for ourselves. No, guys, I really find this question highly offensive. Highly. And I'm saying again, if you want our bank statements, we are more than happy to give them to you. Nabila Sheikh, what gives us the right to impose the 30th? I think I've explained where the 30th came from. And I wish he was here to answer where the motivation for the date came from. But unfortunately, I can't answer where the date comes from. But I've also explained the logic behind us hopping onto the 30th. And the dark skin tone of skin, I think we've had, if I can calculate, if not 30 or so marches already. And you know, with every single instance where people have claimed that there's been attacks on people who are Tonga or whatever, they've been proven to not be true. Because I can tell you that the only people who are talking about this issue of us having abused or hurt people of dark skin are people who have always opposed what we're doing. Yes. So I can tell you, Nabila, in a march, the only thing we're doing is marching. Nobody's looking at skin color saying, oh, you dark, you orange. In March and March, I can show you one of our leaders is darker than the sun. He's very dark. So if it had to go with that, I think we have a serious problem in this country. Because nothing we've ever said is about skin color. When people ask us, why are you only targeting Africans? I'm like, I'm so confused. Because the tuck shops, fiber shops business is taken over by Asians. Pakistanis, Bangladeshis, Chinese, and we are always there at the forefront with the police to go to those same people and say, these businesses, are they registered? Are they in compliance? How did we get them? It's not about skin color, Nabila. And I hope that everyone who's trying to push that agenda understands that we don't care if it's white people that are in the country legally. We don't care if it's Chinese. We don't care if it's Smurfs. We don't care if you're pink. The only thing we care about is, are you in the country legally? Because legally would mean, Nabila, that there's been a background check that's done by Home Affairs. Oh, I don't even know if that's even happening. We're hoping, if we're lucky, Home Affairs did a background check before allowing people in the country. But unfortunately, knowing Home Affairs, they don't even do that. So that's what we're asking for, that we want people to come into our country and do the right things and be positive influences in the country and bring about positive change, not economic migrants. We don't want to import poverty from all other African countries. And it's got nothing to do with hating people or not loving them or hating ourselves or our skin color. It's got everything to do with respecting the laws of the country. Because migration, I've said this so many times, and it works me up every time I have to repeat it. Migration was there for a reason. It wasn't meant as an escape for your government. Nobody here has a right to escape to another country because their government is not giving them a job. When we go to another country, the country has already evaluated that there is a position available for Jacinta to go to that country. And nobody in this country wants that job. So in Saudi Arabia, for example, they realize they've got a shortage of skilled nurses. They go out and look for skilled nurses. They're not looking for people to sell tomatoes in the streets. They're looking for people to be nurses. That's how migration works, and that's all we're asking for. Can we not be made to feel bad for wanting the right thing for our own country? Because now if you are importing 100 nurses from Nigeria, and there's already 300 South Africans who are already not working, how are you going to make migration work for South Africa? I'm sorry guys, this thing gets me emotional, but I apologize. The reflection of the government. Do we feel like they missed an opportunity? Shem, our government's banda. I don't even know which starts about that. I know I'm going to change and move from the government and come to you guys as the media. Your job is to hold the government responsible and assist us as the citizens in holding the government accountable. That starts with you guys asking the right questions. But you don't ask the right questions. Even now there, with that immigration crisis that's happening in Durban, where there's thousands of Malawians there, guys, you're not asking the right question. How did we get there? How are we having thousands of people undocumented there? Stop asking them if they've eaten, guys. Stop asking them if they've...
All those guys are selling drugs. We will walk this side. You will see all the guys with backpacks. They will start walking away as we come because they are selling drugs here. Yeah, so we will walk.
What's this place?
This is King Dunuzulu Park, and these are South African people that have been staying on streets. Watch. that have been staying on these streets for more than 20 years. Nisikhombise laba banama nisikhombise laba ababeletha obhaka. Wonke umuntu obeletha ubhaka obalekayo udayisa ama drugs. Yabo. Yeah. You see? Yeah. Ozala. You see?
Oh,
you see? Yeah. Okay. That's the one.
So is he Nigerian then?
No. Webaba. Why must be one? Waneke izandla ngisumsangano mina. Angisumsangano yangizwa. Angona umsangano. Ngikhuluma nani ngizelile ngizohlola nina musukuneka izandla masikhuluma na. Why masiza lapho baleka kunani la kubhaka ngemuva? Kunani? Suka emgwaqweni. Yeah. So asibafunda bobhaka laba obhaka nenigcwele obhaka abaningi la. Yabo? Uyabona la? You see?
Oh, he's walking away.
Yeah. All of them, you will see a lot of them will start walking away, and then we're gonna go inside here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you there are some tables where you see they're selling bread and chips and sweets and everything. That's the one. Yambo. Hey, Bob. Yeah, check. You see? How are you, my brother? Why are you walking away? We're only visiting you all here.
I'm gonna go work now.
What? What work?
I make bird feeders.
Bird feeders?
Yes.
Yeah. That's what you do?
Yeah, bro.
So and then you come and stay here?
I come here, yeah.
Why? Why do you come here?
But I come do my thing here.
What is your thing here?
You know what goes on here.
Smoke? Yeah. So where do you get the stuff? How do you get the stuff?
In Overport.
You get the stuff in Overport. I'm not talking about your work. I'm talking about drugs.
Oh, yeah. You can get it many places. So.
No, you're getting it from here. We know. We know. I know.
Yeah.
You see, I've been doing this for 12 years, my brother. I've been doing this immigration and illegal foreigners for 12 years. I know each and every spot where drugs are sold. You're not getting drugs from him. You are getting it from here. Somebody is selling it here.
Yeah.
And you know that. Yeah. I'm not asking. I'm telling you. You see? Yeah. You hear? You see?
When they see you, they know that.
Yeah, they know.
You come here.
Yeah. Okay. You see? So they will act crazy like this, and you see.
Ah.
Yeah. Hey, Bob. You see, that's drugs.
He's pushing.
Yeah.
Drug.
No, me. I'm coach. That's drug. Those are drugs there, in that thing. So, and they will act like they are also hobos. You know, they will be dirty. They will dirty themselves.
Okay.
You know, to blend in. Yeah. They actually.
The drug dealers.
The drug dealers. Yeah. Actually, the drug dealers or drug mules or something. Yeah, but it's people who sell drugs and they want to blend in.
So before we go in, can you explain to us what is this got to do with immigration or illegal immigration or
the drug?
These are South Africans.
Yeah, these are South Africans, and these are university dropouts.
Yeah.
These are kids that were sent by their parents to universities, and these are not kids for poor people.
In the background.
Yeah.
I see.
Or we can go in.
Against the sun, even.
Yeah.
So explain to us before we go in.
Okay.
What is this?
These are South African kids that are in addicted in drugs.
Yeah.
And these drugs here, we can talk to a few, and they will give you evidence that the drugs are sold to them by Nigerians, and some of them are killed because sometimes they would use the drug, and the Nigerian won't get the money, or whoever is selling drugs. So if people are saying we are xenophobic, if people are saying we are tribalistic, if people are saying we are vigilantes, we are minions, and all these things that they call us, what is this? What is this? Is this an acceptable life for a South African to be projected to by a foreigner that is coming here to deal with drugs only? You go to any flats here, you won't find South Africans, you will find Nigerians in these flats, and they hijacked those buildings, and they put so much security outside that even police can't go inside. So These are the things we are trying to fix. We are saying, go back to your countries, fix your papers in your countries, fix your papers to come to South Africa, so that we can know if I'm building a center before the end of this year. I'm taking all these people here, and then it will be easy for us to follow the drugs, because you can't follow drugs now. You saw as we come, everybody started taking their backpacks and going. All these that are going, they are selling drugs, and they're acting like they are hobos also. And we will take you inside and we will show you.
But these are adults, I guess.
No, they are kids. They are kids. Some of them are here for more than 12, 15 years. They were kids before they come here.
And you think that the Nigerians are the ones who have given them the drugs? And
illegal foreigners, but mostly Nigerians are the ones who are selling drugs.
If illegal migrants and Nigerians leave, you think these people won't use drugs?
We will take them away from here first, because the government is supposed to have rehabilitation centers, and when you are rehabilitating someone, you don't have to beg them. You don't have to be, they have no rights. The only right they have is a right of life, that they must live, they must be okay, and they must be, back to normal. So we will take them away from here, and we will put them in a center that we are building somewhere through the donation of the Premier. And then we will, as you see these warriors that I lead, they all going to become CPF, community policing forums. We're going to turn them into community policing forums, and we will start infiltrating these streets, and we'll make sure that the drug problem is rooted out of this country.
So we're here today, you're showing us and saying this is one of the problems you want to tackle.
100%.
And this is related to immigrants.
It's related to immigrants. This problem is solely caused by immigrants, especially Nigerians who are known to be selling drugs. It's not a secret. Every day there's a program on TV by one of our leaders who is going into these buildings at night with the security to show that Nigerians and illegal foreigners are selling drugs. And what is worse is that they don't use these drugs. They only give it to kids that are South Africans. So they are killing the future of the sawubona South Africa, sithemba ukuthi niyaphila bafowethu nonke. Siyabonga South Africa, siyabonga ngane zakwethu, siyabonga. Angeke nazi ukuthi nenza umehluko ongakanani, ngeke nazi ukuthi nisiqinisa kangakanani. Izingane zakwethu esithi masidlula senza ama march la uthola ukuthi ibambekile, zisemsebenzini, zime eminyango, zivele ngamawindi, ziphakamisa izandla, zimemeze zithi South Africa. Siyabonga bafowethu. Kukhulu kakhulu enikwenzayo ningekho eduzane. Izingane zakwethu ezisesekayo ziphosa o3 rand bazo, o50 rand bazo, o100 rand bazo. Nalokho abantu abaphosa siyacela niqhubeke nakho ngoba yikho kwenza nibone kwenzeka yonke lento. Leminikelo yenu eniyenzayo iyona yenza kwenzeke yonke lento. Siyabonga bafowethu, siyabonga. Ngeke siyeke ukubonga, siyabonga. Mina akangilona lolu hlobo oluhlala elikhala. Ukubonga ngiyakwazi. Siyabonga bafowethu. Siyabonga weSouth Africa, inkulu into eniyenzayo. Inkulu into futhi niyibone ukuthi niyaphumelela. Ngicela niyibone ukuthi lento esiyenzayo iyaphumelela. Bukana uhulumeni uyalithatha igxathu. Khona noma ngabe lihle noma ngabe libi kodwa usabela entweni thina esiyenzayo. Siyabonga ingane zakwethu. Siyabonga insizweni zonke amarenki onke. Siyabonga. Sibayeke laba abambalwa abagangayo ngoba siyazi ukuthi emarenki khona abantu asebethengwe ngamakutshukutshu nakwanongoma kukhona lokho sikubonile, siyakwazi. Kodwa okusalayo bafethu izwe liyoba khona ngisho ungasekho ngoba nifike nenze lezi zinto enizenzayo lapha emateksini, nenze lezi zinto ezithenda bethemba ukubulala abantu. Iyona kuphela into oyithembile empilweni, uthemba ukubulala umuntu, hayi ukuthi uthemba ukuthi wena uzoba ingxenye yokwelekelela izwe. Ukuhlakanipha kwakho wena ukuveza ngokuthi ube yiqili kubantu bakini. Siyabazi ke labo bantu abanjalo, asinankinga nabo, iyona sabelo sabo uNkulunkulu abanikeze sona. Kodwa into engizokhuluma ngayo namhlanje ukuthi kusasa ngomhla ka26 ekseni kusukela ngo7 kuya ku11:30 ngizoba ngiseBay ngiyobona insizwa lapha eBay, sizogqugquzela, sizoqinisa insizwa ukuthi wemadoda ningalenzi iphutha lokubulala amadolobha enu ngoba akuwenzi umqondo ukuthi uthi ufuna ukulungisa uphinde futhi wena ubulale into yakho. So ke lokho abantu ababede ukufundiswa ipolitiki kokuthi abantu bethi bafuna amanzi bese bemba umgwaqo la kungena pipe khona, siyakuyeka manje. Ama South Africans akasakwenza lokho futhi ama South Africans sizowagqugquzela thina ngokuhamba kwesikhathi ukuthi awahlangane noma ngabaqhamuka kumapha amaqembu, ahlangane athathe izwe lawo ngendlela enhle, hayi ngendlela enodlame, hayi ngendlela ezoshiya. Sifuna abantu abaqotho, sifuna abantu abangekho kupolitiki manje. Awukwazi ukuthi ugijime wonke amaqembu uthi ufuna into entsha, kodwa njalo makuqhamuka into entsha wena ufuna ukuba kuleyo nto entsha. Vele umuntu oyinkinga uwena. Sifuna abantu abasha, brand new people abangakaze bevote, nabantu abasha abangakaze bebe kumapolitiki. Sifuna bebe ingxenye yalezi zinto esizenzayo. Bese kuthi wena okade ukhona kupolitiki, osuvukelwe umoya, wabuyelwa unembeza, wakhumbula ukuthi izwe lingaphezulu kwepolitiki, siyakufisa ukuthi ubuye ube khona la. Ifundiswa zakithi njengoba sigxeka, simgxekela ukuthi yekani ukukhuluma isingisi, ubuyani nizongena la kusetshenzwe izwe ngoba kusiza ngani ukuthi ukhuluma isingisi esingaziwa ngabantu bangakini, kusiza ngani ukuthi ubatshazwa ngokuthi ufundile ube wesaba ukuphucwa iphepha elabhalwa indoda. Iphepha nje labhalwa umuntu kwathiwa igama lalelo phepha yi-degree. Ngalelo phepha wena awusakwazi ukukhuluma elizwe, awusakwazi ukulela izwe ngoba uyivila, wesaba ukuthi kuyofanele uhambe uyofukuza lapha phandle. Awufuni ukufukuza, ufuna ukuthola izinto zamahala ngephepha nje labhalwa umuntu owathi wena usune degree, usuyi-masters yokuthi. Iqiniso ukuthi nawe uyazi ukuthi awazi lutho, iqiniso ukuthi nje ungakwazi ukulwela izwe kusho ukuthi ayikho into oyaziyo ngoba lelo phepha fanele ngabe yilo elakwenza noma leyo mfundo fanele ngabe yiye yakwenza wabona ukuthi izwe libaluleke ngani. So uma kuze kube manje ungakaboni noma ungalidabula lelo phepha ulilahle. Lapha eRichards Bay kunamaphoyisa adayisa ama-drugs senginesikhathi eside kusukela ngo-2024 September ngiyilandela indaba yakhona. Kunama-Nigerians adayiselwa ngamaphoyisa ama-drugs. So ngizwile ukuthi njengoba ngize eRichards Bay kunengxokozelo-ke kusatshiswa abantu besatshiswa ngamaphoyisa. Into esizoyenza uma beke basichukuluza eRichards Bay, amaphoyisa make asichukuluza, sizobiza amagama amaphoyisa okuyiwona adayisa ama-drugs, sizothatha ama-video amaphoyisa emukele imali kubantu, sizoshutha lamaphoyisa ahlale ephake ngama-van asesebenza ukuvuka ekseni ayoprotector ama-Nigerians eRichards Bay. So sicela ukuthi ningasiqali into esiyishoyo sithi sicela noma ngabe kade uganga ubuganga ubuntshontsha yeka yikho sisho kanjalo ngoba asifuni kube khona umuntu ophazamisekayo so ke mangabe nifuna impi kimi nina amaphoyisa ase Richards Bay nizoyithola impi kimi ama foreigners onke eRichards Bay kumele ahambe ungakashayi umhla ka-30 2026 wonke ama Nigerians nama foreigners ase Richards Bay kumele ahambe eRichards Bay wena phoyisa wase Richards Bay obhizi ophansi phezulu uhamba uqamba manga thatha ama voice note wrong uthi uphakele wathi abantu abenze lawo ama voice note bring it on kumina and see what's going to happen akho phoyisa la elizofuna ukulawula ubugebengu ngenkani akho phoyisa lapha elathatha isifungo lathi izovikela umphakathi eseliphenduka usomabhizinisi wama drugs elizoqhubeka limi mhlambe nina nicabanga ukuthi kuyadlalwa mhlambe nicabanga ukuthi njengoba upresident ekhipha itatimende zokuthi abantu aba-undocumented abahambe kulelizwe nicabanga ukuthi kuyadlalwa mhlambe njengoba upresident ethi umuntu inkampani eqasha abantu bokufika la abangekho emthethweni kumele iboshwe mhlambe nicabanga ukuthi siyadlala thina asidlali thina ofuna impi kimi akayilethe impi kimi nginayo impi kodwa konke lokhu kade ngikwenza sonke lesikhathi bengilokhu ngisho ngithi asifune umuntu ozongcolelwa igama asifune umuntu ozolahlekelwa umsebenzi ubuntshontsha ubuganga musa kuphenduka imamba egcekeni lapha eRichards Bay kusasa ngicela iphume zonke insizwa suke emtuba esikhawini emalokishini onke ngwelezane cela sihlangane eBay sizobamba umthetho wokuthi ngomhla ka-30 akubulawa lutho ngomhla ka-30 awabulawa amadolobha fanele amadolobha ethu siwagcine ehlanzekile sisusa abantu bokufika amadolobha sale ehlanzekile akufanele silwe sodwa wemaphoyisa kufanele sime nganhlanye sibuke ubugebengu kodwa mawuthanda ukulwa noma ngabe ubani ulethe lokho kulwa kimi uzokuthoza ngithola ngishibhile ayizondikala thank you